So one of those titles that come through the door from Vinegar Syndrome where I'm just scratching my head going, I've never heard of this. The Laughing Dead from 1989 is a real oddball of a movie. One of those movies that you sit and watch, or I did anyway, going, this isn't a great movie, but at the same time I'm having one hell of an amazing time watching this thing. This turned out to be an absolute joy of a movie, in both poking fun at the horrible performances that were on screen. The terrible acting is amateurish. Well, do you know, amateurish would be an improvement on this one. The gore is absolutely exemplary and so enjoyable and so plentiful that it just kept me entertained all the way through it. And there is a broad sense of silliness through this that just doesn't make sense. Tickles my funny bone because it just doesn't make sense.
What the heck is going on here?
The basic story of this one, if I got my head round it properly, was that we have Father O'Sullivan, a priest who's been a naughty man.
Yes, of course. You can stay here for a little while if you want.
And had a fling with a nun many years prior. He's having these dreams of demonic possession and horrible end of the world cataclysmic events, and to get away from it all he decides to go on an archaeological expedition down into Mexico.
The climax of our tour will be a visit to Todos Santos, the festival of the Laughing Dead.
Of course, there's a young girl who's kind of run away from home because her father's dying, that's searched for sanctuary within the church, and you get a feeling that they're going to go at it at some point, but it kind of shies away from that after the opening scene, and she ends up stowing away on this bus ride down to Mexico. We've got a host of other characters, some aggressive and in your face, some banal and boring. All of them, I'm pretty sure, are going to die throughout the movie. And then they stop off, and this woman and her 10-year-old child got aboard the bus, and it turns out to be the nun that he had the affair with, and quite obviously his progeny as well. And they make the trip down to Mexico. But Ivan, the kid of these two, nun and a priest, is one of the most enjoyable characters in the movie.
Hey, Mom. It's all your fucking fault, preacher, dude. You reminded her of the battle days when she was a fucking nun.
Foul-mouthed and just so lively. Every time he opened his mouth to say something was pure gold that had me in absolute stitches watching this.
Well, Mom, I'm bored shitless. Tomorrow you're gonna spend all day looking at fucking architecture.
Now, the other characters are really uninteresting. The performances vary wildly across this. One of the worst ones is the girl that kind of stows away. Her stilted performance is just so cheesy and off-putting that you've got to wonder how exactly she got a job on this set.
It's my dad. The accident. He had to have a blood transfusion. Now they think that the blood is contaminated. He's gonna die, Father.
Laurie.
Taking the story, which I've give you brief beats, it takes a turn when they get down to Mexico, and it turns out that there is a eons old cult there worshipping the old Aztec gods, and lots of kind of zombie-ish and nightmarish sequences and blood and guts and death and destruction happen. To be honest, even try to break this movie down, your head would probably explode trying to comprehend what the hell goes on here.
What the heck is going on here?
Watching it, I felt as though my head had exploded several times. The gore in this, the special effects, truly are outstanding.
She's a very fine baby, Miss Smith.
They are amazing. There's several sequences that are just jaw-dropping in this one. And to see our group of heroes trapped in this small town in Mexico and having to battle Aztec cult-ish people, as well as what seems like zombified people as well, although it's never really clear what's going on here, just made everything so enjoyable. Like watching it, you know, when you're watching a movie and then suddenly something comes out of left field and you're like, what the heck's going on here? That's so weird. I'm going to sit up and pay more attention because I don't know what's going to come next. And one of the strangest facets of this movie, one of the proper sit up, pay attention, what the hell am I watching? Is this really happening? Was the theme of basketball throughout the movie. Now, it's there a couple of times at the start with Ivan and his priest father, and then at the end there is an actual moment where they're in an Aztec temple. A stone hoop appears at the side of the wall, and we have almost zombie-ish Aztec cult people versus the survivors of the bus trip. Playing a kind of game of basketball for the fate of humanity.
What the heck is going on here?
Oh, just even saying it out loud makes it feel like some kind of fever dream. I'm fighting a cold at the moment as well, so it really did feel like I was off my head in meds and having a delusion that I watched this movie. But I checked it out again. It is real. I did watch this, and just when I think things couldn't get any crazier, we get a bad character and a good character who somehow morph into giant kaijus that are intent on slapping each other, and a finale that is just utterly pitch perfect. Now, I may sound like I'm coming down hard on this movie, but I had so much enjoyment with The Laughing Dead. Yes, the acting's awful, but it fits the aesthetic of the movie. The effects are amazing. The story keeps going. There is plenty of gore throughout this. It's not one of these ones where it's sparing in how it's using it. It is there all the while, whether it be these horrible nightmare sequences or actual practical effects in your face. When it gets to the end, it just explodes in a fury of nonsensical scenes and amazing gore and action set pieces that were just brilliant. The Laughing Dead was a rare treat, a bad movie that was pure awesome. Yep, I said that. I would highly recommend The Laughing Dead. I was laughing my head off watching this thing and enjoying it. And it's not one of those so bad it's good. It's just a good movie with some bad things, elements within it. I'd love to know what you think of this one. Of course, there's more content up here if you want to see more of my videos. If you want to like this video, if you feel I deserve it, I would love that. If you want to share the video, that would be amazing as well. Of course, you can join the Patreon program or maybe even the membership program, which really helps me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.